What's up, guys? I'm LAJ with Legendary Sports Organization. I'm back at it again with my homie
Peter, what's up, guys?
So, a lot of things have gone on in the NBA all season. The Summer League was incredible. It was crazy, and it was fun to watch. Right now, we have something that's going on July 20th. So, whenever I post this, July 20th, we have one free agent who just sat down with the Lakers, and both of us agree we do not want to see him on the roster, and that is
Derrick Rose.
Yeah. Elaborate why we don't want to see him on the roster.
So, Magic made it very clear after trading D'Angelo Russell that this is his team. So, you're bringing on, or you're potentially bringing on someone as a Derrick Rose who is a ball-dominant guard to try and take over this team. I don't like that. I don't really see the connection, why they would even think about bringing him on board. I see him more ending up in Cleveland, which is reports have been saying that he could potentially end up in Cleveland. I like the fit there better, especially comes off the bench. To say that you have Kyrie Irving
As your starting point guard, yeah.
and then you have your backup as Derrick Rose. No offense to Darren Williams, but you didn't show up in the finals. And if you have
very lost. I mean, Darren Williams was just lost in every possession.
You want to compete with Golden State, you need to have a bench.
Mm-hmm.
So to bring on a Derrick Rose, and if they can bring him in for that taxpayers minimum, that'll be a big win for Cleveland, because we also know that LeBron's not that happy right now.
Oh yeah, he's on vacation, but he might be happy on Snapchat and Instagram, but he's mad. You can tell
because he knows that gap between
they don't even have a GM yet still.
Of course, and with Cleveland, it's just getting bigger and bigger, that gap. So, is Rose enough to close it? We don't know.
Absolutely not. No, for me personally, the reason I don't want him on the Lakers is because he's injury prone. And yes, last year he showed signs of that 2011 MVP Derrick Rose, but at the same time, he even knew that's his contract year. He needs to show up to get paid, and unless he's willing to take a big pay cut, he's not going to get signed for a max. He's not going to get signed for a super deal.
He's not going to get the max.
Oh,
it's already been a couple months already into free agency.
Yeah. And he's still
or a few weeks into free agency, and it's no one's really made the effort to try and sign this guy. Milwaukee was another, but I don't even think they want to bring him on board. They're not that desperate
anymore. Yeah, they've got a good lineup. I mean, they're not that desperate for Derrick Rose. But yeah, Derrick Rose does take away the ball from any other point guard that's already on the team, and he could be potentially an injury.
An injury waiting to happen.
Yeah. So there's that. That's the reason why we both don't want Derrick Rose on the Lakers, or basically on even with the Clippers. Would you want him on the Clippers?
That's a different story.
Oh, okay.
Because you got Melos and then Patrick Beverly.
Austin Rivers.
But he plays shooting guard.
You don't think he'll be the main ball handler?
No. Austin with Doc's system, he brings up the ball sometimes, but he's more of the off guard than a point guard. So I don't know where that confusion comes with Austin. He's more of a shooting guard. So would I want Derrick Rose on Clips? If I was asked, of course. But
veteran minimum.
For the veteran.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sorry. So
steal. That'll probably
it's
be
a steal.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to be as realistic as possible. I see him more with Cleveland. If he wants to win in the East, because if he comes to LA, then I feel more eyes would be on him, and I don't want to have that those stories come out where it's like, Rose hates this person or that, and because in LA, like, you hear these reports come out about Austin and Chris Paul, which they both refuted, saying it's a bunch of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
They actually respected each other, but you and I don't know that. That's the thing about this. We just hear reports, and then you got to separate the bullshit from the reality. And for all I know, they could hate each other.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with bringing Rose on board. They may be a perfect fit or may not. But
it's a risk. It's
a risk reward.
Yeah, huge risk with, I think, less reward than risk. So another thing that we want to touch on is so the Summer League was incredible. The rookies really showed up. You got Jason Tatum, who performed excellent for the Boston Celtics. And even though Lonzo Ball was out of the finals and he didn't perform well in the first game, he came out and he finished the Summer League, with a couple of triple doubles.
And he had none in UCLA.
Crazy. There you go. And he's playing with bigger, more experienced people. And he's playing with the best of the best from college and draft. So that's something great to say.
Would you be safe to say that this draft was almost as good as the 03 draft?
No.
Not there, is it?
No.
It's still a talent gap?
Unless someone, I don't think Lonzo's going to be a LeBron. Maybe, he could maybe surpass Dwayne Wade. But there's no LeBron in this draft. There's no
there's not that one superstar that can carry.
Yeah,
I get you.
Yeah, I mean maybe.
But I'm talking about talent wise.
2014. So I think this draft was just as good, if not better, than the 2014 draft, which had Andrew Wiggins and who else was in it? Julius Randle was in that. The guy from Milwaukee is always injured. Jabari Parker. So this draft is just as good, if not better, than that 2014 draft, but definitely not than 2003, because 2003 you got Hall of Famers at least from 1 through 5. Was that the same year as Chris Paul?
No, I believe that was
2004,
2000.
Well, regardless, I mean,
I'm not entirely sure.
LeBron James is the highlight of 2003. Who's gonna beat LeBron James from this 2017 draft? No one really showing up to that.
No. But I'm talking about as the talent goes by, because you have Fox, Ball, Tatum, Josh Jackson, Fultz.
Yeah, 1 through 5 is a solid, legit.
This isn't no Darko Milicic for Detroit, which to this day, Detroit fans. I mean, you could have Carmelo Anthony.
Oh,
but, I mean, instead of Denver, but just the way the cookie crumbles, right?
It happens. Oh yeah, it happens. Moving on, we're gonna talk about the teams that everybody needs to look at and be like.
So if you have your League Pass subscription, these are the teams that we feel that you need to subscribe to on top of your Lakers and your other teams that you're a fan of. So.
Or find those pirata websites where you could just torrent the sites and just watch.
Of course, yeah, but we want to keep League Pass and all.
So number one that we're all excited about to watch when the season starts is Minnesota. So we already know Andrew Wiggins and Cat.
I mean, you're talking about a Minnesota team that nobody thought that they would do anything this offseason, and right on draft day, you get Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Who even thought that was going to happen?
Yeah, that's a super steal. And we thought that was it was a dumb trade for Chicago's, and they got
a draft pick. I don't recall the
Ricky Rubio. Didn't they get Ricky Rubio?
No, Ricky Rubio went to the Jazz.
Oh, okay. So it was for the rebuilding process. Zach LaVine. They got Zach LaVine for.
I mean,
to
be honest with you, Zach LaVine to me could improve, but he's no Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and then that injury that he just suffered, it was a big injury.
And how many people come back? Yeah, how many people come back from an ACL injury to be the same player they were? It normally takes some players 2 to 3 years to get back to that.
And him being the high flyer that he is, he's gonna think twice before he goes in the air again, especially with a defender. He's gonna have that in the back of his mind. Do I really want to go for this crazy, insane dunk, or do I want to watch, my body and make sure I don't get another injury? So that's another thing that's going to affect Zach LaVine.
So Chicago's obviously not on that list of people you want to look out for. They're probably going to be a bottom feeder in the East.
If they make the play. If. But Minnesota definitely got so much better adding Taj Gibson, Jamal Crawford, Jimmy Butler for sure with a defensive-minded first, and he could play both sides of the floor. And then you also have
Jeff Teague.
He's gonna be the the
starting point guard.
Yeah, he's gonna be a starting point guard, but he's gonna be the one that no one's gonna see coming because he's gonna finally be in a system where he's gonna be comfortable. He's gonna be he's in between youth and veteran, and he's gonna finally have some good.
So it's all up to Tom Thibodeau to make sure that his system, and let's be honest, he's really known for really working on his players, but working them hard.
Yeah.
Because Cat and Wiggins just last year logged in the most minutes in the league.
Yeah.
And they can get away with it now since they're young, but they need to be careful with that because that's how injuries happen. So to bring in this influx of talent could potentially fix that. So let's just hope Tom isn't there to try to kill these guys at the same time.
So the other team, and I think for me, honestly, I feel like this is a team to watch. This is my number one, but we both agreed that Minnesota was number one because of Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns and Jimmy Butler. But for me, I feel like the 76ers, we've been waiting for the longest. Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid, even though he didn't finish the season, he didn't play the entire season, he showed signs of...
He showed signs of a person who's going to score 20 and 10 a night.
Yeah, definitely. And he's going to be he's going to be blowing it up as well. He's not going to be Anthony Davis, but he's going to be on that level good. But Ben Simmons is the one that I'm interested to see. What I heard and from my understanding is he grew... I think he's 7 feet now.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he's 7 feet now.
And he wants to play point guard.
Yeah, and Magic Johnson was 6'9", and from the highlights and everything that we saw in LSU and what he was doing, he has a good shot. He has a good mid-range. and he could pass, and he's like great and excellent
So
passer.
with that 7 foot frame that he has, you're talking about someone who has great court
and
vision.
he's massive. Like he's like
with
LeBron James
with
massive.
ball handling skills.
And he's gonna have Markel Fultz. He's gonna have Joel Embiid. We don't know. What do you think, Jahlil Okafor?
Joel Okafor, I believe, will be traded at some point in the season because they want to make sure that Joel is their number one.
Mm-hmm.
They may try to just shed that contract. Maybe potential another veteran to come in to help them out for that playoff push.
You think
because we both agree that they will be in the playoffs if they remain healthy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now the only thing is, when we talk about the Sixers is, what exactly is their long term plan? Like we just don't know. They brought in Amir Johnson and JJ Redick, that those veteran presence for this youth team. So it's a good mix. I feel that they can potentially make that work, but we don't know. Essentially, with the injuries that they've had, can they stay healthy for a full 82 game season?
Yeah, like have they recovered enough to play a full 82 plus playoffs, or are they gonna play 60 to 70 games? Have enough left over to play in the playoffs and maybe even shock the world. And
to be honest too, for Okafor, I would not mind if he can still maybe play a backup role. Would be Tyson Chandler.
Okay.
I mean, if I honestly look at what Philly has, and they still need a good backup, Okafor. I mean,
why not? Okay, so why not dump or find a way to get rid of Jahlil Okafor and trade him for some good assets, a good veteran or something, and then bring in Nerlens Noel? Why not bring him back?
Why not bring him back? Does he want to come back and play, on the bench?
I mean,
I don't know. Like again, this is where we both agree. Yeah. Where we don't know Philly's full long-term plan.
Yeah,
I would love them to have that veteran presence as far as their center, because if you have someone like Tyson who can help Joel bring out that defensive rebound and that shot blocking ability on top of his offensive game, you're talking about a man who's going to be a beast among boys.
Yeah, okay, that's fair to say. I remember he was like projected number 2, and then he dropped to number 3 or number 4 because he ended up slacking and he ended up showing signs.
So that he still needs that one presence, and I feel like it's Tyson Chandler. But it could be someone else. Again, it's up to Philly what they decide to do.
They could get something. Definitely, they could get something in return for Jahlil Okafor.